Very interesting question. So, great. Yeah, let's. So this whole idea of mass importing of goods is because a lot of the Chinese have seen opportunities for it, whether it be with coffee items or with large amounts of fabrics. And so if you can't get large amounts of fabrics in mass here, then in a way you're almost forced to take the ones that are brought from abroad. So in a way the question to Genet was, what are we doing, or you doing, or what can we do to meet the need for that mass demand?
I think I agree in what you say, like the mass people or people that they can afford. But we have to distinguish if I am putting the Ethiopian hand-woven fabric, which is authentic and different, with all the value that has behind, in Paragon with what is the Chinese print, then we're making a big mistake. So if I am wearing an Abesha libs, which is handmade, and if there is another person who's wearing the chiffon or whatever it is, the printed one, I mean, from the way you see it already, you can see the value. So we should have to be able, of course, anybody has the right to wear what he wants. Whether it's not, I don't put it in a way because it's expensive, now people, they can wear that. No, there are two things different. I mean, if, just to give you another example on the mass production, if we do have the mass production, but if I'm comparing the handmade, which it takes him a weaver to weave it 1 week, with a half an hour print, then we're losing the value there. So it's all up to me or to anyone else to choose where is the value I add up. If it is only the value of money, or is it the value of culture behind? So, I mean, for me, if I am able to deliver the Ethiopian Airlines over 5,000 pieces of traditional dress, because they believe it is the value behind, it's handmade, it represents Ethiopia. They didn't go because they need 5,000 pieces to produce in China. So it's all up to me, the value that I'm adding. In my case, I will never put in Paragon Chinese print with Ethiopian handwoven. So we have to distinguish here. Do I want the authentic, unique handwoven fabric, or do I want the cheap hand printed in China? So I think there is nothing that I have to put it in Paragon here. I don't Paragon it, I'm sorry. I mean, for me, you can choose what you want because you can pay 1,000 birr, but with 1,000 birr, you can find a beautiful hand-woven fabric. It is not about price. Because I did a research on that, and that's why I said, have you ever been to Sunday market where the weavers, they came out and they sell on the road? Have you ever buy anything there? And is it expensive, that one, than the print one? No. Zari, the chiffon, it cost 1,300 birr. You will find for 1,300 birr a hand-woven fabric. So it's all about choice. Do I want authentic handmade product, or do I want any? It's like a jeans, I mean. Even a jeans, we can choose from all different kind of jeans. They are all made in industrial level, but I can choose different kinds of jeans. It's the same here. For me here, it's authentic, handmade, versus factory made. That's the way I see it. I don't know, I might be wrong, but...
Great. I feel a great discussion coming on off the back of that one. And it's an interesting one, and it shouldn't end here. And let's continue that. Blaine, over here, what was your question?
For me, when I start, I never thought that I'm going to be an entrepreneur because I don't know even the word, what does it mean? So... it's like, that's why I said it's a learning process. I remember the first entrepreneurship program that I have been part was almost 20 years back, which was organized still, I think, it is, I don't remember the name, but I think the UN organizes still for the entrepreneurship program, but it's a learning process. Sometimes I'm not an entrepreneur, I am more of a person that I love what I'm doing. So to be an entrepreneur, you need to have really a different way of seeing things. Of course, learning every day, I believe today I'm a very good entrepreneur. And I think I'm trying to, that's why I want to pass it on as a succession plan to the next level. I don't want that when, even if I'm not going to be around tomorrow, I don't want it to die, my name or the name that we built all these years, because we have people that they really are strong enough to move on and continue what the journey is. But sometimes the mistake we do when we start a business, we never think we can be a good business person, but not a good entrepreneur. So we need to understand the difference also, how we can be really a good entrepreneur. In that case, you really need to learn the whole value chain of your business. What we really miss, especially nowadays when we hear some investments, they can't invest in us, is because we don't have really right structure, you know. We start with very small money. We don't put the right people because we don't have money to pay for people that we need to have them in our business. So we need to really understand exactly what we want. Once we know, then we have to put it in order to be a successful business. Then at the same time, you have to learn to be really a good entrepreneur also. It's really tough. Sometimes you can't be a good entrepreneur. You could be a good leader, but not a good... For me, for example, I'm not a good leader. So on the research that we did on my company, I have to leave my position that I was like leading the company. I have to step down to be the creative director, where I'm good at, to someone who is better than me. So you have to be able to know also what kind of... how you want to really grow your company. So for me, I think now I am a good entrepreneur, but when I start, I didn't know even what does it mean. So you have to learn on the process.
That's very true. Amazing. I think for the sake of time, we're going to have to draw this segment to a close, but I'd love to just ask you one final question. It's kind of the question at the end of each of these sessions that I ask our guests, which is, you have a room full of people here who are at different stages along the entrepreneurial journey, some just about to start, and usually that's the hardest bit, what do I go and do? Others who are in the thick of it and going through different challenges, and others who have been in it quite a while. And so just to, as you sit in a room full of people with the potential of employing masses and masses of people and solving the unemployment issue in our country, with this kind of platform, what would you say to them, both those that are in the room and those that are watching online, just almost as a commission and inspiration to them? What would you say?
I think when we think to start a business, we don't have to start just because it's a business or to make money. We need to have a purpose. If we don't have a purpose, I don't think we will be successful in that business. At the same time, you really need to study the opportunity. Sometimes we don't think there is an opportunity and we don't study it. So before you put up, be passionate in what you really want to start or what you start already. If you're not passionate, and for me, the passion for fashion, the passion for what I'm doing, I mean, it doesn't limit me to stop. So you need to be passionate about any business that you want to start with. And you need to really integrate nowadays education together with that. If you don't put together really educated people, it's very hard to succeed. That's what the two things.
Oh, amazing. Can we just hear it for Genet? And thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your wisdom and insight. Truly profound stuff.